In our first story, even as the opposition National Democratic Congress works on its inquiry into what caused its defeat, that's the heavy defeat in 2016 elections, the New Patriotic Party has also launched its own inquest to find out what factors contributed to its victory. The 10-man or 10-member committee, which will be doing the review, is also to investigate how the party could improve its performance in the next election. Acting General Secretary of the NPP, John Boadu, announced this to the media Wednesday morning.
National Council is the second highest decision-making body of the party apart from the annual delegates conference. So its decision, it can even decide that certain things should be done, you understand? And so let us restrict that to them. They have the powers and the mandate to deal with those aspects here. And this is a plan that I've told you about close of today. National Council is meeting. I don't want us to mix. This is a singular press conference that we had. It is for the inauguration of election review committee for the party. So let us remain in that. After the National Council, if you want an open discussion on it, depending on decision that National Council takes, I'm always available for us to discuss it. Even as we've not met, Joy FM and other radio station, I've spoken with you and I've told you the position of the party and how regrettable we think it is for
National Council meeting of the governing NPP just ended, and we have dignitaries coming out of the meeting hall, and just behind me is the president with the acting chairman of the New Patriotic Party just exiting from the conference room here at the Alisa Hotel. The meeting took a little over 4 hours. Meeting started a little after 7 p.m. and it is past 11. The meeting ended just about a few minutes ago, actually a marathon meeting, considering the fact that it is the National Council meeting of the governing party, and the president is having a chit-chat with some executives of the governing NPP. And there you have it. President Akufo-Addo is taking leave of executives and council members here at the Alisa Hotel. Now, let's head straight to the Acting General Secretary.
John Boadu also outlined the terms of reference of the committee.
Is concerned. Can you tell us a bit of what issues were touched on in there?
I've told you
The Supreme Court has asked parties in the controversial Gitmo 2 lawsuit to file further submissions on the case. On the day many were anticipating the Apex Court to deliver judgment on the matter. The arrival of Mahmoud Mohammed bin Atef and Khalid Mohammed Al-Dubi in the country in 2016 sparked public uproar over the possible security implications, as the two were believed to be former Al-Qaeda terrorists. Two citizens, Margaret Bamfo and Henry Nanabwache, in January 2016 went to the Supreme Court to challenge the move by government. The court has now set June 22 to rule on the matter. There's more in this report.
The case of the plaintiffs essentially hinged on Article 75 of the 1992 Constitution. This provision empowers the president to enter into international agreements on behalf of Ghana, but it also requires of him to allow for such agreements to be ratified by the parliament of the country. The court today held that it was appropriate for lawyers on both sides to address the court on whether such agreements, once entered into, governments can walk away from such agreements simply because it contravenes our national constitution. Justice Atuguba said Article 75 had never been interpreted in our history, directing parties to file submissions to that effect by on or before 24th of May. Lawyer for the plaintiffs, Nana Ejewa, spoke to the press after proceedings.
This is monumental to the extent that we are likely, or we may have the position that, yes, there are certain agreements which the president of Ghana can take. So it will, in effect, create a certain exception, which is why the court thinks that we must give further submissions so that they make a decision that would be beneficial to Ghana going forward.
The court has therefore fixed June 22 to deliver judgment on the matter. Reporting for Joy News, Joseph Akable, Accra.
We still have to remain in the court as Abelinkwe Mawako branch manager, who is standing trial on the charge of assaulting a caterer at the restaurant, Wednesday told the court he never shoved the face of the female employee into Pepe. This was as Jihad Chaban opened his defense after his lawyers at the previous sitting told the Abeka District Court he would need the help of an interpreter to enable him address the court since he was unable to be more comfortable in expressing himself other than Arabic. Narrating the incident, the 26-year-old vehemently denied and insisted he never shoved the face of the caterer into blended pepper. Hearing continues today. I beg your pardon, hearing continues on Thursday, May 15. Now, let's move on to others then. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, John Peter Amewu, says Ghana's natural resources have become a curse instead of a benefit to the country. This, the minister says, is as a result of wanton distraction left behind by those tilling the land or the earth for these resources. With specific reference to the campaign to halt illegal mining, John Peter Amewu asks foreign ambassadors to collaborate with government to end galamsey. The minister was speaking at an interaction session with heads of missions from the Middle East and Europe at the Foreign Affairs Ministry.
I'm speaking in relation to illegal mining activity that we have witnessed over a period. The laws of Ghana specifically preserve the small-scale mining to be done by Ghanaians, and who Ghanaian is can equally be found in our laws and statutes books. Unfortunately, we have had the area being witnessed with a lot of international miners, let me use that. People from Mali, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Burkina Faso, China, name them, all countries. The very things that they are not able to do in their country, these are the things that are being done in Ghana, solely because the laws in Ghana do not work. As a government and in accordance with our manifesto, we are not anti-mining government. We are not anti-mining. This is a government that believes in private sector orientations and growth. So how can we be against people who want to do business with us? What we are against, and we stood strongly against, is the methodology and principles that have been applied in the mining processes. Our environments have been degraded, forests have been destroyed, water bodies have been polluted, to an extent that in most of the communities, water treatment plants are not able to operate because of the turbidity in some of these rivers. Natural resources cannot be a curse, it should be a blessing. Why is it that in collaboration with our foreign partners, we are able to make ours a curse?
On her part, the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Shirley Ayoko Botwe, appealed to the ambassadors to use their diplomacy in protecting Ghanaians in foreign lands. According to her, migration issues should be handled with a human face and also help in protecting the dignity and human rights of affected people in line with international laid down conventions.
This point must be stressed as we continue to receive reports of abuse of our citizens who are recruited by job agents to go to work in some Gulf states. Your Excellencies, this is an issue we must openly confront in an honest and contrite manner. We must not only strongly condemn them, but take practical and urgent steps to address them. In that connection, we wish to appeal to you to take bold steps to arrest these unfortunate developments of the maltreatment of Ghanaian labor migrants in your various countries. We demand that those found culpable should face the legal consequences to serve as a deterrent to others.
She further called for their support to help Ghana realize its desire for faster economic growth, job creation, and sustainable development.
Our government's key focus, therefore, is to build one factory in each district, one dam in one village, within a broader perspective or objective of making the agriculture sector become the bedrock of our economy. To achieve this objective, We need your support in seeking new markets for our products in your various countries and in marketing our country as an ideal and safe investment destination.
Changes in financing following Ghana's attainment of lower middle income status in 2011 has seen decline in foreign grants and loans. The absence of clear alternative public financing to bridge the gap threatens the country's ability to meet the Sustainable Development Goals. One of the worst affected sectors is water and sanitation, and the local agency says it is embarking on financing reforms. We bring a report by Prince Apia.
Stakeholders and employers at the Community Water and Sanitation Agency have met at a 5-day review conference in Kumasi. The theme for the conference is Rural Water and Sanitation Services Provision, Current Role of the Agency, Gaps and a Way Forward for Effective and Sustainable Delivery. Walanyo Kwejo Siabi is Chief Executive of Community Water and Sanitation Agency.
CWSA relies heavily on government subvention, released annually from the Consolidated Fund based on approved budgets. We also attract some funding from few of our development partners that are left in the rural wash subsector. Unfortunately, in the past 4 years, our agency is starved of funding for operations from these two sources. This new phenomenon has greatly affected our performances in the last couple of years and leaves us incapable of monitoring wash service delivery, let alone providing new facilities in 4 of our 10 regions. This is one of compelling reasons which necessitates a change in the mandate and financing structure of the agency.
Meanwhile, Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Joseph Kofiada, says government is exploring private-public partnership to support the sector.
Such constraints in financing without a clear alternative public finance to bridge the gap in donor funding threatens the ability to meet the SDG 6 and related national targets. The adoption of a public-private partnership policy has attracted new funding to the urban water subsector in particular, but the appetite for the rural water subsector is yet to be nurtured. These changing dynamics, as well as other long-term trends in Ghana, require strong institutional capacity to facilitate the subsector to navigate the policy, finance, operative model, and institutional arrangement adjustment required to steer and keep the subsector on track.
He also revealed plans to collaborate with academia to address some of the sanitation and water challenges, especially water quality.
We expect in this process to go to partnership with academia, especially the research organizations, whether from KNUST or Water Research Institute, to make sure that whatever we do, by way of drilling boreholes or mechanizing water systems, we're able to treat that alongside the delivery process.
Prince Apia reporting.
And that's our news tidbits this morning. We have a lot more news. We'll be reviewing the newspapers, and you can also get interactive because we'll look at some of the online portals. On Facebook, we're streaming there live, Joy News on TV, and we also have our Twitter handle, Joy News on TV. My Joy Online TV is a channel on YouTube. We also stream there live.